The time has come. Let's do this. It's time for a console war. So, what are we doing here? We've just had the PS5 showcase yesterday, and it is time. As pre-orders are opening up everywhere and are appropriately sold out for the PS5, it's time to take a look at, for my book, who's got the edge going into the next console generation. So, we're going to start with hardware. In hardware, it's pretty easy to take a quick look and get a good grasp of who's leading. It's Microsoft. So PS5 took their sweet time revealing their price, and the undercut argument definitely has some weight to it when it comes to the Xbox revealing their price so much sooner. And that really goes for the Xbox Series S at just $300. You're getting 1440p gaming. Yeah, it's digital only, but that is a tough price to beat. And with the Xbox Series X being a monster coming out at $500, it may have forced Sony to match them. Sony, the PS5, oh, it's a beast, but the Xbox Series X is just that much more powerful. In hardware, just straight up hardware, and price even, Xbox Series X, without a doubt, has a big edge in that department. But this is a game console after all, so who's going to take the edge in the most important part in the games? So unpopular opinion time. I think the PlayStation hasn't had too many great games over the past year or two. They are all just so similar. Third-person action game, light stealth, light RPG mechanics, slap a different coat of paint on it, and be on your merry frickin' way. Oh, and don't forget the open world. So, I'm a bit more on the side that this is going to be a lot closer to call than a lot of people are probably going to think. Yeah, the Xbox hasn't exactly been rolling in the frickin' exclusive games over the past year or two. They've pushed all of their chips onto the upcoming Series X and S's. And that's also why it's harder to say that yeah, PlayStation's got the edge, at least in the launch title category here. The Xbox, with losing Halo Infinite at launch, yeah, that hurt. And Halo Infinite, I could do an hour-long video on that game all freaking alone. That game has issues. Halo has had issues since 343 took it over, but man, I saw this coming since Halo 4. And Halo Infinite's development has oh so obviously had many, many issues. But I think Xbox does have two big things going for it. One is Gears. Gears 5, hands down, I dug the shit out of that game. And Forza Horizon especially, Forza Motorsport too, but that's more of a hardcore racing game. Forza Horizon is the best racing franchise on the market right now, hands down. And that game, whenever the next Horizon game comes out, that is going to be a good one to pick up for all Xbox Series X and S owners, especially on a Series X. That game will look so good. PlayStation, in their big announcement thing, they really didn't show that much. They got Final Fantasy 16, but come on, guys. Let's be honest. That game's not coming out for 3 or 4 years. If Final Fantasy 15 is anything to go by. And yes, there's supposedly a new the wrong GOW, God of War game coming out next year, but they didn't even show gameplay for it. That's rough. I mean, how are you going to show your next big release, but it's supposed to be coming out next year and you don't have gameplay for it now? God of War ain't coming out in 2021, guys. That's going to get pushed to 2022 at the earliest. So, games right now, for exclusives, nobody's really got a whole lot. I'm willing to give a slight edge to PlayStation because, let's be honest, Gears Tactics is the only exclusive coming out for Xbox. That's not very good. That ain't going to get it done. And Dirt 5's coming out for all the big consoles too, so game edge right now is going to PlayStation, but that's definitely going to be a big wait and see. I think Xbox has got some stuff coming out next year, and that will be the big deciding factor for the upcoming console war of who's going to take the lead. Hardware, Xbox. Software right now, PlayStation, but they almost win by default because Xbox at launch right now does not have a whole lot. So it's going to be an interesting look and see situation. Who's going to take the win in this console generation? This current one, yeah, it's PlayStation, but they pretty much, Don Matrick handed them that on a silver platter. Unless you want to be the contrarian and say Nintendo, which that I wouldn't argue against that either. The Switch is absolutely killing it right now. If you want games, those are the guys to go to. Thanks for watching.